Sauron has yet to reveal his deadliest servant. The one who will lead Mordor's armies in war. The one they say no living man can kill. Slay them all. What of the wizard? I will break him.
Hello and welcome. This is going to be fun. I'm excited to be finally able to talk about the Lord of the Rings. But I must bring in some of my my wonderful guests. Sorry for the late start. Slight problems with guests being slightly late, bad timing. Neph and Wolf are missing in action. But we shall soldier on nevertheless. Anyway, please welcome first.
Hello, everybody, to the Lord of the Rings circle jerk of 2 hours.
Yeah, we will do. I think for the first little bit, we'll probably do book versus movie comparison, since that way
I'm out.
You're fine. We will not be. I honestly think the movies are better, but Valerian can savage me for it. I don't care. Anyway, let's
Prepare
bring
to
on
have your
Valerian.
castle burned down.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, the movies are not better. Tolkien was one of the great geniuses of literature, and PJ and Co. are highly qualified hacks. That said, this is the best. I think this film is the best of the lot.
Do I smell conflict?
Oh, no conflict, because I'm right, so there won't be any conflict.
This battle is between you two, since I haven't read the books yet.
Well,
You
I
what?
don't know. Yeah. Okay, what to do for Nihilus' intro? I'll just reuse this one probably. Oh dear.
Greetings.
We got a little bit of static problem here.
My gain is way too high. I know that sound.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, alrighty. If we were to do this just as movies, I think we would probably say this was cool. This character arc is very well plotted out. and kind of it would be like, well, this is kind of just mostly people. A lot of people have already said.
Oh, one thing. I know what's completely objectively better than the books, and I have never read them. The music.
True.
Get
Well,
Blarion.
Rubbish. The music is better in the books.
Yeah, that is subjective. This is objective. You cat, demon, dragon thing. I don't even know what you are. What are you?
I'm a mystery of iniquity. That's what.
That works. That works. I thought you didn't like pansexualism.
What? No comment. You know I had to say that at one point or other. Okay.
Yeah. So, kind of the first thing, we can kind of like just, I think we'll kind of just do both. We'll kind of just say, I think how it is in the movie, like, they definitely cut a lot out. Like, they cut out our friend Celebrimbor. They cut out quite a few things, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, I
They
never
end up-
noticed that.
Yeah. Celebrimbor is not in the movies. He just kind of exists in this. He just kind of only exists as far as Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Those are the only times he's ever shown up.
Yeah, you see.
I haven't read the books, but I did watch a bunch of Lord of the Rings videos. It's raining where Nihilus is, probably.
Well, you see, the thing is that generally with adaptations, cutting works better than adding as a rule. I think that's a pretty good rule to go by.
Yeah, I think The Hobbit is a great example of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Yeah, it's a. Yeah, The Hobbit has a lot of problems with adding a wee bit too much.
And it gets a bit repetitive too.
Yeah, unfortunately. But in terms of, well, hopefully people will come soon. Since I re-pinged everybody. But in terms of what we have to go on, we have Sauron deciding to conquer Middle Earth. We have the three Elven rings. We have kind of the story of the rings. We have Isildur taking the ring from Sauron with the Battle of the Last Alliance, and I think that them managing to pare down the gigantic story of the ring into only a few short bits was actually very impressive, to say the least.
Most of that stuff, what they did was they took things from other parts of the books and moved it to the beginning, which is fair enough. So a lot of things in the books come out as flashbacks later in exposition, or even in sometimes some of them even in the appendices.
Yeah.
They moved them around a bit, which is fine.
One thing that doesn't quite make sense about it is kind of like how Isildur slashes the ring off of Sauron's hand in the book versus how he slashes it in the movie. It makes a little bit more sense in the book, because basically Sauron died because of he went in single combat against Gil-galad and Elendil and died. Or at least his body was destroyed, versus Isildur. And then Isildur, once Sauron was defeated, he cut the ring from Sauron's hand, and as kind of like compensation for the death of his dad and his brother, who never shows up in the movies because Anarion is useless. This as a character, he doesn't really serve any narrative function.
Yeah, I mean, he's there because it's part of the history, and that will happen sometimes. People will come up in histories who just don't do anything in particular on the story.
Yeah.
Which is okay in a book, but in a film, if you bring on a character and don't do anything within it gets to be a problem.
Yeah. You gotta have like a good amount of being tight in order to get the film. In order to like keep people engaged with a film, because otherwise it's not really going to it's not going to keep the audience's attention.
One gets confused.
Yeah, I think the main thing is basically like the kind of you see right off the bat is the scale, because I don't know if anybody had seen a battle of this scale in anything previous to this. Just by virtue of just like it's like a million orcs versus a million elves, and it looks so real too. Like it doesn't look fake even today. Like it still looks really good.
Sorry, where were we? Sorry.
The Battle of the Last Alliance and just what it looked.
Sauron looks a bit like Lego, doesn't he?
Little bit he kind of is, yeah. It changes a few things about the lore, yes.
They did things that probably were, well, because I never read the book, so I'm just kind of be spitballing here. So I'm just going to say they only kept in things that were necessary for the plot, I would assume.
Yeah, like Isildur taking the ring is the major.
In terms of the
one.
prologue, yeah.
Yeah.
Isildur takes the ring, and then he gets nabbed by the orcs.
Oh, what happened?
Nothing.
Spoiler.
I'm just bringing in Tarek.
我が力、我が刃、我が狂気、我が狂気をもて見解せよ。エクスはあ、うがせエクスプロージョン。
Oh no! Not now. There's two of them. This is getting out of hand.
Two what?
Two.
Oh, he's even more mysterious.
Just to ask, how am I coming in?
Very badly.
Yeah.
Not terribly well. Better than Nihilus, but not terribly well. Also, you're
Okay, I'm on my phone. I wanted to experiment and see if it worked. It's clearly not, so I'll be home in about 20 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, they it's very, very different. Yes, it was a siege in the book but you can't really show that in a movie.
I mean, if it's just all they need to know is that unless the siege is the story of the film, but it's not in this case. It's just a prologue to the actual story of the film. So
in the movie, it's like almost 3 hours. I don't know how long it is in the regular version, but in the extended, it is 3 hours and 48 minutes.
30 minutes of that is credits.
I don't know why that's funny.
Well, my point still stands. These movies, even Fellowship itself, is incredibly long.
Whoops.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
The Nihilus
has died.
Rest in peace, Nihilus.
But
he was too young to die.
Yeah.
Gloran, what have you done?
I didn't mean to kill him.
Oh, he's going to switch to his phone. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, he's doing the opposite route.
Alrighty.
Oh, no.
I do think with the Battle of the Last Alliance, they definitely had to cut a lot of stuff. And yes, the Battle of Mordor is very much a long protracted siege, but you can kind of think of it as the climax of that war rather than just the only battle. Like that's how I choose to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, even the books that's all told in summary,
Yeah.
and they chose to show it in the film, which is fine, but they don't need to show the whole. They don't need to show the whole thing, which even in the books is just passed over fairly quickly.
It kind of is. Yeah. Volcano to rain fire on for 7 years. That's actually it is pretty awesome, I have to say.
Oh yeah.
But and just as much as an army of Balrogs destroying an entire city.
Oh, that's lovely.
I would have liked to see the battle in the first age, from what I heard, with all the dragons and the Balrogs and the shit.
Oh yeah, that'd be a party.
Yeah. Just wait. We might be seeing that on Amazon.
Oh, I can hardly wait! Yay!
Oh no, we'll have Balrog dragon sex or something.
Valerian, no,
I
bad.
love pansexual Balrog dragon sex. Oh no, God, no, please no.
What kind of weird shit are we getting ourselves into? Wait, never mind. This is normal. We're just lucky we don't have Wolf right now because he would probably chime in on this.
Oh, yes. Well, yes. School of Movies.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, there might be cool surface level stuff. I mean, battle scenes, I guess, but story wise, it's probably going to be ruined.
Oh, undoubtedly.
If there is a story.
No.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing really we can do about it. It just
We
kind
can
of
have an
exists.
anime.
Well, we can have fun ripping it apart when it comes out.
Yep, more content for us, I guess.
Yeah.
Ripping on something we used to love.
Yep.
Don't destroy what you hate. Save what you love. Everybody went quiet. I'm like, oh no.
Pretty much.
What have I done?
Uh,
We really screwed the pooch at this time. There's only like 2 people watching.
yeah. Yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Wow, that's racist. All right, it's yeah, I can't really comment too much on this. It's mostly you and Valerian.
Yeah.
Space junk and
Me,
Mm.
I think, because I'm watching the stream in
Industry.
third person.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Adostrela, or however it's pronounced, is here.
That was
Yeah.
a while ago. I
Yeah.
think-
Yeah. I think unfortunately just sorry for being late. It's my bad. A lot of the regulars are AWOL.
Yeah. Today was jinxed. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you can't get them all.
Oh, I need to link this thing now.
How long did it take? Who fought the War of Wrath? Yeah.
Are we
The War
still
of Wrath
talking?
is yeah, I think he's talking about the War of Wrath. This is a little bit vague. Please clarify.
The War of Wrath is something isn't that in the first or second age?
Age.
It's the first. It's
Did
the
the-
last year of
the
the first
dragon-
stage, if I remember.
Do the dragons switch sides? Nah. Dragons are pretty much solid evil in Tolkien.
I
They
don't
have
know.
any. Yeah.
Well, depends on your point of view. That's just your subjective opinion to coin a phrase.
Tolkien himself says that they're greedy and avaricious worms that kill
That's
lots
just
and
his
lots of
opinion.
people.
That's just his opinion.
The literal
Game
god
of Thrones
this
doesn't help that
universe-
stigma.
The literal god of this universe, or it's just his opinion.
Yeah, but it's just his opinion. It's all subjective to coin a phrase.
Okay, let's go with that.
Yeah. Death of the author, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep. Literally.
Well, we're certainly going to get the author rolling in his grave.
I think he would. Yeah. He comes back from the dead. It's so bad.
I don't know if it's gonna be that, but I think it's just gonna be meh bad. I don't. It can't. I think it's probably gonna be
You know what?
like
You're right.
Boys season 2. It's probably just
You know
gonna be
what?
Boys season 2 bad.
You know what? You're right. We should cancel
Yeah.
Tolkien. He's racist against dragons. We can't stand for this.
Hashtag.
Scaly lives matter.
Hashtag cancel Tolkien. Yep.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who think that already.
Oh,
Probably
people, it's a joke. I don't actually mean that. I feel like obligated to clarify it because there might be like that one person who might fucking just rain hell on us or some shit,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
copyright strike us or some shit.
Not copyright strike. I think like the people who like want to cancel Tolkien are all the crazies and all the crazies on Twitter.
Yeah, I think the canceled people and the copyright people are two different sets.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, look at me. I am a fucking wizard. How much cooler can you give it that? It's like 2 times cooler because it multiplies. Because wizards are cool, dragons are cool. So if we combine that, it's like 2 times.
I didn't know you were a wizard.
Wow,
You're
you
a
must be
wizard,
blind.
White.
And I'm also a zombie, so that's like 3 times.
You're catching up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like triple points.
Yeah. But then we kind of see Gollum, and we don't. It isn't Andy Serkis Gollum, not yet. It's something different, and we do see the ring past the creature Gollum. We see a brief thing of Bilbo finding the ring, though it's a little bit different than it is in The Hobbit, and like I know one guy, I think it's Michael Mercy from Armchair Directors was kind of miffed that they didn't recreate the shot from from the Lord of the Rings because he's a big Lord of the Rings fan. Like, was kind of sad that they didn't recreate that.
Yeah, so I may interrupt for just 1 second to call attention to something in the chat. Maybe you got this already. Also, the Elven scribes writing the Silmarillion were obviously biased against the coolest scaly race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, welcome back.
It gets.
Oh.
No!
Oh,
And he died again.
Jinxed.
But Valerian, you murderer!
I didn't mean to do it. Help! Please, I'm so sorry.
After that city you burned down, I'm surprised you have any infamy in that word.
Empathy. Well,
hey, I'm a zombie, so I have an excuse to slur my words.
That was different. Well, you're dead, so the fact you can talk at all is impressive.
I hate you.
Don't mention it.
Okay, he is revived. Maybe.
Well, come back.
No.
Sorry, I shouldn't.
Damn it.
Alrighty. But I think the
Okay.
movie's like, I think one of the things about Tolkien that kind of makes him a little bit like hard to digest for a lot of modern readers is because he's not very character focused. I think is one of the things about Tolkien. He's very world and plot focused.
Blair, don't say anything.
Well,
not the single. Fuck.
All I'm going to say is that character focus isn't the only value in literature. That's or art. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, no, I don't think that's necessarily bad. I just think that that's something that like a lot of people will kind of say like that's kind of like one thing that kind of makes Tolkien a little bit hard to digest is because he goes on kind of not as bad of tangents as Victor Hugo or Alexander Dumas, but he kind of goes on like long world building tangents.
Yeah, I don't think they're that long in the text itself. Most of it got tossed into the appendices. Every now and then there were little bits where he's describing stuff. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad in the actual story itself.
It's not bad, but like there's kind of long sections where it's kind of just they're taking these long things to like talk about the world and build it, and that's cool, but it's just the fact that it's like this long info dump.
Yeah.
I think the major one is Counts of Elrond and sprinkled throughout, but then there's like parts in during the battles where, like, I think the Battle of Helm's Deep, one of the things that they kind of the Hillmen of Dunland kind of come out of nowhere, and they have to kind of quickly explain, oh, these are why the Hillmen of Dunland hate the Rohirrim, because they think that we robbed their robbed them of their land.
Yeah, at least that bit's brief, though. The Council of Elrond comes up later, so we can talk about that eventually. That's one of the areas where the original had to be changed, but I'm not sure if what they did was entirely successful either.
Yeah, they're kind of very much faced with kind of paring down a lot these very dense novels to kind of just what's kind of happening in the moment. And kind of limiting the number of like things. I think that moving the prologue to the beginning was a good choice, because putting it in the middle would have been really kind of rough.
Yeah, you have to do it as a flashback, and that works as a prologue, but not necessarily right in the middle of the story, because none of the characters is in the main story apart from Sauron, the hero, of course. That's why it's called the Lord of the Rings. It's named after him, so he's the hero. Am I right?
Indeed.
Perion, you fuck.
Yes.
No, I'm just saying you're a Reardman.
I'm a Reardman, you said.
And we love him because of it. He's hilarious. He's a jewel of great price.
I'm a jewel of weirdness, certainly.
Oh, that too, but that makes you why you're priceless.
Because no one would pay for it.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah, let's go with that. But then after that, we see Gollum, and we see Bilbo finding the ring, and it's young Ian Holm. R.I.P. my friend. R.I.P.
Who? What? Where? Why? How?
Ian Holm.
Oh, yes.
Baggins's. Dildo Baggins's.
Yeah, Ian Holm. Yeah. Yeah. Ian Holm unfortunately passed away last year, either 2020 or 2019. I
think 2020.
Screw you, 2020.
Yeah. Maybe that's
Guys,
a lot.
start posting Bilbo Baggins memes. To make us feel better.
There must be globs of
Good, thanks.
them out there already.
Hello?
Oh. Does finally work?
Yeah,
sort
seems
of.
like it is.
How well can you understand me?
Better
pretty
than
well.
the other mic.
Decently now. I can hear words now.
Well, the problem is the laptop itself, not the headphones headset.
Oh,
you're trying to use the laptop mic? Oh my god, that's why.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, laptop mics are really crap because they're built into the fucking computer. So you're going to hear all that noise coming from the laptop, and it's going to go right.
That was the rain you heard. That was the cooling system.
I left the rains down in Africa.
We'll never look on computers quite the same way.
Quite. I do have to say though, I am speaking of that. Just reminds me we need to do Aquaman at some point, and we'll do a double feature of Remarkable Republican and Renegade Cut.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great! Another remarkable Republican video. Oh, great!
Well,
That's
and
gonna be fun.
he thinks that Aquaman is someone who will not be named.
No, well, yeah, I guess, but yeah.
Wait. Aquaman he's comparing Aquaman to fucking Voldemort.
No, he's comparing
In a manner
Aquaman to
of-
Trump
in a
in a
manner of
positive light. On both
Okay.
ends. Yeah.
No
And
comment.
he also like says, "Oh, this proves the legendary King Arthur was real. It also proves Atlantis was real."
Yep, and Space Junk was on a roll
Mm-hmm.
in the chat. He's on a roll
Mhm.
there. So,
Mhm.
way to go, Space Chap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Elvish propaganda.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or was it human or was it a human or a man that where the kids forgot that they knew each other and then
Oh no, you said the words.
They were humans.
Yeah, they were okay, so it was human incest. Okay, so
That's all right then.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Salty Gold refused to pay. That's funny. And then after that, we get to the Shire and the party, and we get to meet Bilbo, Frodo, and kind of the other principal characters. We're quickly introduced to Merry and Pippin as lovable goofballs.
Yeah, they're basically idiots in the film at this point anyway.
Yes, I think partially it's because like they have an arc in the books, but Jackson decided to kind of like make it a little bit more pronounced.
Yeah, so I think I like. Would you agree that Peter Jackson's version of these two are better? I don't know about the book. I'm going to refer to Valerian or you guys.
I would say not really. It's a bit. They're a bit comic relief in the film. In the books, it's a bit more complicated. But the thing with the books is they become more distinct after the second book.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I recall, it's been a while. But in the first book, well, Pippin is always kind of the stupid one, and Merry is the relative intellectual of the two.
That's not saying much. That's not saying much.
Well, Pippin
Haven't read the second book.
Yeah, in the second book, they become a bit more distinct and they move off a bit. They get separated and do things. So, and Merry.
Damn.
Yeah.
Space Junk is laying down the truth bombs over here.
Yeah. Yep. And Merry actually wrote books later on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book about tobacco. It's in the prologue.
A book
that fits to hobbits.
Yep.
And Tolkien, I guess.
Yeah, very much.
Like every
so.
picture I see of him, he's always smoking something.
He's always smoking something, so to speak.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting idea, by the way, having a series about Sauron's point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of did that with Sauron's Diary, but that's a parody. I'll have to read that to you sometime.
You did a what now?
I did a parody, believe it or not.
Huh.
Dead air time. That won't do.
Dad, you awake?
Yeah, I'm still awake. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
waiting for the parts I can actually interject in.
Yeah. Brillix, I don't know who this is.
Who? What? What are you on about?
Brillix video smells. I don't know. Interesting. To the elves. Well, the elves often kind of forget a lot of things.
Oh, don't say that. You just triggered me.
No, you said the word again. I'm triggered. I need to go to my safe space. Yeah.
I hate elves.
I think a lot of people hate elves for various different reasons.
Just snarky cunts who change his who
Arrogant,
bend his to the pole.
overpowered assholes.
Their perfume stinks. And they wear too much pink.
Yeah, way too much
And they're
pink.
very pale.
Yeah.
But
Pale
at least
can
some
look
of them
good,
are hot.
but not with the elves.
At least sometimes they're hot. Well, Galadriel's hot.
Indeed.
I
Arwen's
mean,
kinda
you would
hot.
bang them, but I guess that's all they're good for.
Pointy ears only good for that.
Yes.
Aren't in a Dragon Age? Aren't there like elf whores or something?
Well, let's not get into the Amazon series right now.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Don't mention the A word.
Space junk, I'm triggered. How dare you?
Well, they just kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet.
No.
Yeah,
Will you stop?
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
pain.
especially
But-
since we're meant to be in the Shire now. I don't know
Pretty
that
much.
much to say about the
I'll give you a hint to Mandalorian season 2. That's the meme I made, except it's in different context. Mandalorian
think,
kind of forgot about such and such.
I think.
Yes, I know what you mean.
I think. I think Rova had beat you to it. He already has a video entitled that.
No, I've already made a meme of that. After I watched the episode, I posted it in this Discord or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the Shire.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the Shire. Let's go. Balerion. You were saying?
Oh, just the Shire and the party, just trying to get us back on track.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, yeah. The Shire and the party is very much very similar to how it is in the book. We have the long-awaited party where Bilbo decides to go out and seek adventure after having a spectacularly spectacularly explosive exit from his home.
Oh no! Now I'm triggered again because I'm thinking of Morocco. But carry on.
It will never ever end.
Yeah.
His speech is one of the more interesting things. The way he is talking to the whole group and people there, he's insulting and
Complimenting.
yes, complimenting them at the same time.
I wish
That's
I could
where
do
Tolkien is flexing his speech abilities.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
like less
god!
than half of you half as well as I should like. I know half as yeah. I know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like half of you half as well as you deserve.
Or something along those lines. Yeah.
I don't like you half as well as you deserve.
Well, at least he's admitting they deserve to be liked more than they do. He's kind of complimenting them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's just all tired.
Oh my
Except-
god, Space Jug. Is that true?
Which one now?
That's why it's called. That's
Oh my god!
That's kind of hilarious, actually.
Oh my god!
It's like some really dark history with the hobbits and the dragons.
So we got to go down. We got to go to the Shire and burn it down then.
Well, you can
Well,
do that.
yeah.
You're pretty good at burning down innocent civilians.
Well, they're not innocent, obviously.
And you both were good at that.
No, because small rocks. They have a bunch of small rocks.
But do they have walls there? Because if they have walls, you can handle the walls at least.
No, I don't think the Shire has any walls.
No, the Shire hasn't any walls.
Bother.
No, that actually makes things better.
Yeah.
Earlier in the movie, when the dragon firework went off, Bilbo said something about having not seen dragons in this place is for a long time. So that
Over
he is
1,000
confirming
years.
somewhat that there have been dragons there.
Ah. Yeah, pretty much proves it. Doesn't the Shire have a fence? There is
Oh my god, I
hedge.
can be useful.
There's a hedge right next to the old forest.
My entire
Where,
contribution is just burning down a small fence. I'm like, hi, I did my part.
But at least it looked cool.
And it plays that Game of Thrones theme from the wall being burned down.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. And it's
Yeah.
just a small fence. All right, let's get back on the thing.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get back on the let's get back on the drive. I do have to say that one thing about the Lord of the Rings that very much like kind of just brings me back and just makes me happy is just seeing the Shire and just how like just peaceful and nice it is. And then kind of sets up for why Frodo loves this place.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, go for it, Valerian. Sorry.
Yeah, the scenery is beautiful. I was only going to mention one thing, which is that I have an English friend who's not exactly complaining, but observing that the music wasn't really English. It was more like Celtic. That's like a pretty small thing because it's still nice music. And I'm not making that complaint. I'm just relaying something that he said.
Basically, Europe has no real mythology, like from a factual standpoint. They mostly just cobble together. The closest thing you have is King Arthur, or the closest thing they have is King Arthur.
Yeah, I'm talking about the music though. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But like, I don't think Britain has very good music, by and large, other than maybe I guess the Beatles. But I don't like the Beatles, so.
You don't like the Beatles? You don't like My Beloved Childhood Memory?
Not really, no.
Or I'd scream fear. Oh, hello, Tarek.
Hey, okay, I'm home finally.
Welcome, Tarek.
Now we
Thank
have 3 book readers. Or 4. I don't know if Nyla's read the books.
I didn't read the
Tarek's a
books.
book reader.
I read the first one, but only partially.
What? That's even worse than they're not reading them at all.
Okay,
Blasphemy.
J book version.
Blasphemy.
All right, so where are we at? And I apologize.
Not
We're at
really.
the Shire. We're at the Shire.
Yeah, we're
Ah.
still just starting.
Okay.
We're just starting.
And I don't have a lot of screaming complaints about the Shire bit, so.
Except for it being a dragon burial ground, and we need to
Well,
kill them all.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Obviously.
Obviously, yes.
I don't know what we're going with this, but I like the design of the Shire in the movie. I thought it was a really unique design. It's one you don't see too often. A very country design.
Yeah, it's kind of partially part of the anachronism of Tolkien, where he kind of like it's almost like the hobbits have time traveled to merry old England, and for whatever reason they like when they leave it's medieval Europe everywhere else.
Yeah, it's not even. I mean, yeah.
Pretty isolated. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
the
no.
Shire is supposed to be rustic and rural, but it's not. It's kind of more like suburban.
Well, if you thoroughly think about it, like, I don't know. I think it is that, like, the countryside of things changes much slower. Because nothing in the Shire makes me think, okay, these guys, are either more advanced or living better than anyone else. But it is a very kind of suburban area for Middle Earth. But again, nothing in it's making me say like, oh, these guys have it much better than say the guys in Minas Tirith.
Kind of debatable. Like Minas Tirith, they don't have smoking. They have tobacco.
Yeah, so it depends on
Yeah,
what
you don't know that. You don't know that because I think we see oh fuck, why am I blanking on it? Why am I blanking on Viggo Mortensen's character name? Aragorn.
Aragorn, yes.
Aragorn's near the Shire, so I imagine he's taken the pipeweed from the Shire.
Well, I mean, okay, Boromir then. Boromir and Faramir. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we see them smoke. I'm pretty sure Gondor has its own pipeweed.
The thing is, there was rangers around the Shire protecting it.
Yeah. Space Junk says the Shire has cars.
Oh, that's right, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
There's a moment in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think I remember that now. Okay, yeah.
It's a slight mistake.
I forgot about that, but yeah.
The movie's bad now. We can't watch it anymore.
Yeah, it's a shit. It's the cartoon is better. It doesn't have cars.
Yeah,
the
back
weird
to back
rotoscopy cartoon.
Hashtag back to back sheet.
My eyes were burning by the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Please someone make me watch that again.
Yeah, I was gonna say Isengard has pipeweed.
Yeah, so that one is definitely a book thing that got thrown out because they decided not to do the scouring the Shire, because originally in the book the pipeweed is a clue that the scouring of the Shire is going to happen.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and also the ending of Saruman, at least in the so-called theatrical, was a little bit.
Yeah, he
But
does
that's
get a
good,
death. He gets an actual death that's more similar to his book death in the extended edition. But yeah, in the theatrical, he's just kind of left out.
Yeah, that's not so wonderful, but we're talking about Fellowship here, so I guess we can put all that until later.
Well, yeah, we'll put that off. But yeah, the Shire, pretty much almost exactly how it is in the book. The only major difference is the fact that they decided to, we are going to scrap the 17-year gap. That's the major difference between the book and the movies. Because, go for it.
It's kind of odd, though, that in the book that it's like, we must go take the ring to Mordor. And then 17 years later has passed, and Gandalf comes back, and it's like, all right, I'm ready now.
Yeah, that sounds kind of weird to me, too. Like, 17 years of waiting till you finally bring it away.
Mm-hmm.
What was the purpose of that in the book? Like, I assume there was a reason it took 17 years to to get this show on the fucking road.
I guess they wanted Frodo to grow up a bit first, and also they wanted him to lose something, so he had to live in the Shire for a little while, so that he would have lost it, so they would have something to lose later.
I suppose, yeah, that does make sense, but it's kind of just like the little embodiment of evil is coming at us. We kind of don't have time. It takes a long time to find Gollum too. That's part of it.
Sorry, like imagine in the book if they had said, "Oh shit, this ring's here. Well, come on, let's get going," and they didn't wait 17 years. I think it would have been a much smoother journey.
Oh,
yeah.
Smudcast is on right now.
Yeah, I do know one thing about the book, that they cut out Fatty Bulger. There's an actual character named Fatty Bulger.
Yep.
I still love one of the RPGs, and Spoonie years ago, that there's a what's it called? It's one of those text RPGs back in the old days. You know what I'm talking about. I can't remember what the appropriate term is at the moment. You can have a party composed entirely of hobbits, including Fatty Bulger, and I love the name called "Come on, Fatty, let's go to Mordor."
Yeah. Well, I should tell you now that there's a parody in which Fatty Bulger takes over the Shire at the end.
What happens to Fatty in the book?
He gets
He loses a lot of weight. He goes to
loses-
prison and loses a lot of weight.
Goes
yeah,
to
and then he
prison.
comes out again.
He goes to prison.
Yeah, Saruman takes over the Shire and imprisons a lot of hobbits who don't do what he says.
Okay.
Yeah, it turns into kind of a mini totalitarian dictatorship.
Yeah.
Man, that's gotta suck. Property values will never recover. Look what happened to Isengard.
Yep. Well,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, they'll recover. Sam gets magic dirt. Earth makes it all better.
Well, that's really convenient.
Sam gets magic elvish dirt.
Exactly.
So what is it? An elf? What is it? A dirt an elf happened to spit in one time?
Probably.
Probably. But
Knowing what the elves
Yeah,
are like, probably.
So if you cut an elf, like, and you make his blood go into the dirt, is that how it works? You just kill an elf and life.
Blood sacrifice.
that would
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah.
You know, after all the elves did to us, yeah, I think they deserve that.
Yeah, the
Indeed.
elves. Yeah, the elves thing is yeah, the elves definitely are interesting people, to say the least.
Very up their own asses for the most part.
Yeah. I do think another thing that they cut out was Farmer Maggot.
No, he was there. Remember, he was chasing Merry and Pippin out of the field.
Yeah, he was a scythe.
He was there like briefly, but
he's got a bigger part in the book. Like, and Frodo's terrified of him because he used to steal mushrooms from him.
yeah, and he has these dogs that could set on them.
My God, the Lord of the Rings really is nothing more than a giant drug allegory.
Well, especially with our good friend Radagast, all you need
That's
to be
true.
in Middle Earth is to get a robe and a drug habit.
That explains the rabbits too.
Yeah.
So this is the bit where they call a law, but I think it was a good idea to cut out. I mean, I'm not sure how they could have done Tom Bombadil. He works okay in the book, even though the verse is bad. But he works okay in the books, but I don't know how they could have done him in the film, really.
Well, from what I've read, the reason why Tolkien cut him is because we just got done discussing like how Jackson. I mean, according to Jackson, we just got done having this whole big scene about how this ring is going to kill us all, and the Lord of all evil is coming, and then Tom Bombadil in his fucking merry yellow shoes or whatever the fuck, or boots, he just comes up.
His boots are yellow.
His fucking yellow boots and whatnot. He just walks up, picks up this ring, and goes, well, who gives a fuck?
Trinket. It's just a trinket. It means nothing.
I have to at least mention here Tim Benzedrine from Lord of the Rings. I have to at least mention that. And let that sit for a bit.
Be right back in a second.
Yeah, I also have to say that Tom Bombadil was a good thing to cut away.
Yeah, partially because Tom Bombadil, he's essentially Tolkien's kid's version of Winnie the Pooh. And all that implies. Because
well, he's also the spirit of the vanishing Oxford countryside, so there's also that aspect to him as well.
Yeah, that is true. But a big part of it is the fact that Tolkien really wanted to include this because he would tell his kids stories about Tom Bombadil all the time.
And the other thing being that when he was writing the book at the beginning, he didn't know right away that it was going to turn into this big, epic war of good versus evil, and the ring was going to be this deadly thing. He didn't know that right away. So a lot of the things in book one, the first part of it, are things that are back in the day when he wasn't sure exactly what he was going to be doing with it, and they never quite went away.
Well, I do know that Tolkien wrote the Lord of the Rings as one big volume originally.
That's also true. But in terms of book, there were like 6 books. And we're not talking books and literal books. We're talking about book 1, book 2, book 3.
Sections.
Yeah, and a lot of book 1, he wasn't sure what he was doing because he hadn't planned on doing a sequel. His publisher said, do a sequel. So he said, okay. But it took him a lot of effort. And at first book 1 was kind of light and comic in tone, and some of that still remains even after all the editing, because you know how hard it is to edit things out.
Yeah, I know exactly how hard it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, God yes. So I don't complain too much about that. And there was something else that he cut too, wasn't there? Let's see. We already mentioned one. Is there something else that got cut? Oh, the elves. That's right.
Yeah, they do have a meeting with the elves in the book, where the Nazgul actually drives away, are driven away by a group of elves.
Yeah, I guess I can see why they cut that out. I think that could go either way. It could have been okay or not. But I can see why they cut it.
Yeah, it's kind of a just okay. An elf saves them. They have it in theatrical just as a little moment where you see, oh, it's a bunch of elves, but it's very much a it's very much blink and you miss it, and it's just elves singing about Elbereth. And it's really pretty bit of music. Yeah.
It introduces the elves, so that's it serves that. I mean, it's useful in that sense.
Yeah, and it's where Frodo gets named Elf Friend for bearing the
ring.
Yeah, I guess so.
We get some Elvish too. Lumen. How does that go? Ellen Sila Lumen Nomen Tielvo.
Yeah. And also,
I like you can have like entire languages just from this guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also another thing that we do get from the book is kind of the whole conspiracy unmasked bit, where originally Sam blabbed to Merry and Pippin, and they knew about it, and so they've been prepping for a while to help Frodo get out of the Shire. And since they left, since even after Frodo, since Frodo has to take all this time to sell back and to the Sackville Bagginses, and
I'm sorry. The moment you said that, I'm like, Bilbo probably felt that through the fucking Force, and he's
yes. It was as if.
Quenya, yes. Quenya, it's an Elvish language, but there's more than one Elvish language, so is correct, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And we do, and we have basically Frodo waits for 7 months before leaving, and it's just probably to give the Ringwraiths time to ride up there, but I just, it doesn't make sense because run now, get out of here, just leave your house, it doesn't matter, bad things are coming for you.
Yeah, it's more drawn out in the books. They don't want to they wanted to make it so that Frodo would go away, but he didn't want to leave a trail, so he wanted to pretend he wasn't moving out. And that's where Fatty Bolger comes in again. He has to pretend to be Frodo for a while, so that actually does make sense. Oh, and they cut out the Old Forest too. I forgot about that.
Yes, they cut out Old Man Willow, and they moved the Old Man Willow scene to the extent of Two Towers and Fangorn.
Fair enough.
And I think, and then they cut out the Barrow White scene where they grab the swords of Westerness. One of them eventually gets used to kill the Witch King by Mary.
Yeah.
In the movie, it's just they lose them, and the thing that gets the Witch King is just a regular knife, regular sword.
Yeah, kind of lame that.
Yeah, just kind of lame. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
this
then-
also. Sorry.
No, go for it. Sorry, I was clearing my throat.
Yeah, this also plays into how Mary and Pippin are less stupid in the book, because Mary actually kind of ran the entire conspiracy, and Frodo had no idea what was going on all this time. So
I think that Mary's relatively smart. Pippin's the one who's an idiot, and he's.
I don't think they're relatively stupid. It's more of that they're hobbits. They're irresponsible. Those two, like when we first see them,
They're blowing up fireworks. They're blowing up fireworks.
They literally nearly cause a dragon to burn down the Shire. I'm going to assume that's not the first time either.
Yeah,
definitely not.
They probably were raised with stories of Uncle Bilbo and wanted to be Uncle Bilbo.
Right. So I can't say it's that they're stupid. I think it's their naivety. Like, and that truly does go away in by the time Return of the King ends. Like, they are completely different characters.
Though Merry is kind of like he's like automatically like that Black Rider was looking for someone or someone when the Nazgul shows up over them.
Right.
And he's just like, all right. And he just says, and he asks like, Frodo, where we go? Odo. And then he takes charge immediately. And after Frodo says, I need to get to the Shire. And the Shire. And he's like, all right, Huckleberry Ferry, come on, let's go.
yeah, they're also aristocrats, which might be another reason for them to be irresponsible.
Yeah, they're really the Tukes and the Brandy Bucks are rich, are really rich.
But apparently, I would guess not Bilbo rich, where he can literally buy and sell the Shire at his whim.
Yeah. With one little shirt.
No, remember? Do you remember the movie last night? Gandalf tells Frodo, your Uncle Bilbo had like a set of rings Thorin gave him that were worth more than the Shire put together.
That's the Mithril vest.
Yeah, that's the Mithril. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the. I thought he literally had a set of 10 Mithril rings, like literally like in a box.
It says he said a shirt of Mithril rings.
Oh, I misheard that.
Them all.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. It's like he did. He said he did have a lot of money. Yes, and he left a lot of money to Frodo. So, but then we have the Nazgul, and the Nazgul are. I think there's not really a bad version of the Nazgul except the Return of the King animated. Those ones suck. Those are the only ones that suck. The other Nazgul, they're fine. Pretty much there's no bad Nazgul except for the Skeletor-looking mother suckers in the Rankin Bass one.
Yes, the Nazgul look amazing and sound amazing and just feel right.
Yeah, they're really creepy in this. I think one thing about the Nazgul is I love their swords too, and they look like they're really dirty and rusted, almost like they've been pulled from a tomb.
Indeed. They look, they really look like they're old and battle hardened and.
So
they are.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. That's just going back to the thing that they were once great king of man.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to say was, though, I don't think Frodo was dying from a Nazgul blade. It was more that he had sepsis because the thing was fucking, buried in a tomb for several thousand years. And, I'm just going to assume Middle Earth healthcare isn't probably the best.
No, it's not.
Get your leeches here. Can't get healthy without some leeches.
Well, thankfully they have Athalas, so that's something.
Yeah, heal everything with that.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, kind of after we get that, we go to Bree, and we get Aragorn pretty quickly. And Aragorn's my favorite character. He will probably always be my favorite character.
Yeah. I mean, there's just something about the Born to Rule archetype, and that's an Aragorn is kind of like, when I think of someone fitting in that archetype, like the not neglectful, but the reluctant king.
Mm-hmm.
He does such a good job with the archetype, though. Like, I can see why he would be the face.
Yeah. The interesting thing is he's actually not like that in the book. He's actually ready to be king by the middle of Fellowship.
Well, it takes him a bit. No, he doesn't have this thing where he's worried about, where he's agonizing about it. That's true. He does have to grow into it, maybe a little bit.
Part of it's the fact that he's 87.
Yeah, but then he's a Dunedain, so
Yeah.
87 is still middle-aged.
True, but he's had a lot of experience. He's fought in Gondorian wars against Harad and the Easterlings, and he's fought pretty much he fought with Thangol and the Riddermark. He's fought in a lot of different places.
Yeah, that's true.
And he also has for some reason he's carrying the broken ass sword, even though it's pretty much useless rather than a proper sword.
Yeah, here we go. Space junk. Mithril is uranium. Frodo's wound did not heal correctly because he got irradiated from wearing the Mitchell for so long.
Let's go with that. Yeah, that works.
Mr. Frodo, you're dying. Hey, was it the Nazgul blade? No, you have cancer over 85% of your torso. What the hell have you been exposing yourself to?
Yeah. Book Aragorn is very. Yeah, Book Aragorn. Part of it's the different setup. The setup in the book is that Aragorn wants to be king because he wants to marry Arwen, because Elrond says that the only person who I will allow to marry my daughter is the High King of Arnor and Gondor.
Yes.
And they decided to cut that out of the movie and just have Aragorn be reluctant to take the throne because he's frightened of giving into his ancestors' weakness, which I think makes enough sense and says an arc.
Yeah, but then he wants to marry, but he also wants to marry Arwen, and Elrond, I'm guessing, I don't remember for certain, but I'm guessing in the film he doesn't want him to, because Elrond is a lot more down on humans in the films than he is in the books.
And there's also the kind of the fact that he's scared that his daughter will die.
I forgot about that bit in the second. That's in the second book, isn't a second film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Turf Nation is classed as a prequel fan on Annals server.
Yeah. Turf Nation likes the prequels. He has a video about why the Phantom Menace is great.
Okay, so I'm not talking about the Hobbit films.
Let's keep going.
Well, sadly, this is the time I have to say goodbye.
All right. Goodbye, Nihilus.
Have a riot.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of just spacing out because I can't interject that mostly at this for the most part.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. And then another thing that we get is that's kind of different is we get Gandalf's story while Frodo is there, and it's definitely different than it is in the book, because you actually get to see the Uruk-hai being spawned out of pits in the ground, as opposed to orcs bumming other goblins.
I have no idea why they chose that the orcs just come from the ground.
Yeah, maybe it's basically just like Saruman just magic DNA into the mud and then used
I
as a
buy
test
it.
tube. What are your thoughts, Balerion?
Something like that. I only dimly remember that bit. In the film, in the books, it's not explained, but it's assumed that they breed like more or less the normal way, except that there's one theory that Fangorn, a Treebeard, has. I don't know if it's a theory, but it's a guess maybe better rather than a theory. Is that humans and orcs were interbred.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when Amazon does this, we'll be getting some human orc action going.
No. How dare you imply that? Why do we have to hear that?
We almost had that in Warcraft.
Yeah. So another thing I would just note is that a lot of stuff.
They'll just make they'll just go with the fantasy trope of the pretty monster girl.
Yeah. One other thing is that a lot of this story with Gandalf and Saruman is narrated at the Council of Elrond in the books, and that wouldn't have done as well in the films. So they showed it all.
Yeah.
And then the Gandalf break dancing.
Yeah. Yeah, breaks dancing on the ground. It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool to see two old wizards fighting each other. And
it was come on, admit it. It was one of the silliest things in the movie. You're watching two geriatrics go at it.
True, and I do think that like they managed to sell it relatively well for what they had to do.
Oh,
the other alternative, yeah, and I do think that part of it is just the fact that we have two very old Shakespearean actors who have been trading excellently written dialogue with such poise, and then it's just kind of he's spinning on the ground,
and then it turns into a breakdance competition.
Yeah. Indeed. And we do have, and then kind of Gandalf like escapes on an eagle, but the main thing that kind of happens that's kind of the climax of the Nazgul chase is the chase scene with the Fort of Bruinen, which is preceded by Weathertop, where the Nazgul finally catch up to them. There's little bits of neat little touches like Aragorn in the theatricals singing the Lay of Beren and Luthien in the Midge Marshes. And then they reach Weathertop. The book is very different. The book, they have a fire from the beginning because they know that the Nazgul are coming, and the only thing the Nazgul are scared of is fire. But Aragorn just has a half of a sword. It's busted and I guess kind of useless. Yeah. And which is kind of like, it was a good choice to get him an actual ranger sword.
Does he also have a dagger or something?
I think it's just Narsil.
Because they had some kind of weapon. Maybe it was like sticks or something. Oh, now I remember. It was basically they were going to use torches. I think that was it. They were just going to use torches. So they had like sticks and they put them in the fire.
Yeah. And then when the Nazgul came in and Frodo puts on the ring, like we don't see the Nazgul. We don't see the Nazgul from his perspective. He just tells about it after. So they had to kind of in real time show us what the Nazgul's true form looks like. They just look like these decrepit corpses wearing crowns. It's
Yeah,
really
these
creepy.
weird white things.
Yeah, I can definitely see where Martin got his idea from for the House of the Undying from the description of the ring wraiths.
Yeah, and Space Junk is referring to Glorfindel. I think we're coming to that shortly.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're coming to that.
Yeah, Glorfindel has never been included in any version of this story that's been adapted to film. He appears as a one of a hero unit in Battle for Middle-earth 2, but otherwise, no, he's basically Sir not appearing in these movies.
And even in the books, there's kind of a weird gap because Glorfindel was a hero of the First Age. I think he's the one who killed
he killed a Balrog.
He killed a Balrog, but then he does nothing for a long time. And then he comes back and he helps Frodo go to the House of Elrond, and then he heals him a bit, and then kind of disappears again.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite pieces of artwork is where Glorfindel and the Balrog are falling, and he's just falling at him with his sword in hand. And the wonderful meme of Disney is the Balrog, and then Christopher Tolkien is Glorfindel fighting it. Yeah. Well, no, he's fighting Disney to keep it away from Lord of the Rings.
He murdered the Balrog.
Yeah, so it was awesome. He did it in a badass fashion.
Okay, yeah, he did. That's right. I remember though he did die, and then he went to the. I think this is the Unfinished Tales or something. He died, and then he came back later in order to escort.
Kind of like Gandalf. Gandalf died and killed a Balrog and came back.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I can see why they needed to bring in Arwen, because Arwen is one of the problems. She's kind of retconned into the books. So she...
Partially because she's barely even a character in the books.
Yeah, so you kind of have to either cut her out or increase her, one or the other.
And she's kind of too important to cut, I'd say. Yeah. I think that because she is, she's you gotta have some female characters in there.
Yeah.
Because, and also, Aragorn, if somebody cares about Aragorn, it makes us care about him more.
Yeah.
I think that, and kind of Arwen bringing Frodo, I think makes quite a bit of sense because you need to introduce her somehow, though she kind of doesn't have any really big part in the story other than as the person who tells Elrond, get your ass in gear, reforce the sword, please.
That's one way to put it.
She said it in Elvish. It sounds better in Elvish. Sorry.
Yeah,
true.
It sounds like this. Get off your bitch ass and do something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh.
No comment.
Yeah. I do think that it's funny that Stephen Colbert actually had Liv Tyler on his show and had her say the line, if you want him, come and claim him while he lays on her lap.
Oh.
Jesus.
Because Stephen Colbert is possibly the biggest Tolkien nerd on the face of planet Earth.
I did know that. I did know he was.
I have Narsil, which was gifted to me from Viggo Mortensen. This does not have any place in this analogy. I just want you to know that I have it. Yeah.
I remember I remember seeing this thing in the Colbert Report many years ago. He literally stopped the show to explain what the difference between a demon and a Balrog was using the artwork Tolkien made for the Balrog.
That's hilarious. I
Way to
love
go.
Was it like Beagle Morton, during filming, always wore his costume and sword
Yeah.
with him like the whole time?
Yeah. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, he really got into costume. Like, he found it easier to kind of be in costume like all the time. It just felt like it helped his performance, which it did, I think, because
Oh,
he
yeah.
pretty much embodies Aragorn, I would say.
Is that why he looks like he never bathes or no comment?
Let's just go with that.
So, Two Towers win. Yes, we must see more.
Yeah. Well, there's still more left. And then kind of we have the Fort of Brunnen. The white horses come down and trample the Nazgul before they can reach Frodo after he's been stabbed. And then we get to the Mines of Moria. I thought this was
Half a moment.
appropriate.
Half a moment. Half a moment. Sorry.
I need to go watch that scene with the lightsabers now.
Half a moment. Sorry. You sort of jumped over the Council of Elrond.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, let's do that. We do have the Council of Elrond, which is very different. It's very long and ponderous in the book, whereas in the movie it's kind of more of a like slower exposition thing, because we've kind of had a mystery of where things have been going, but now we finally get all of the context that we've been needing for this past few bits.
Yeah, it's. I think it needed to be changed. It's a little bit rushed in the show and a little bit in the film. It's a little bit awkward in the film, but in the books, people talk too much, and in the films, it just goes. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's not as much of a flow as in the. I think what they all they really were able to do with the movie was they were able to kind of quickly and very quickly set up characterization for all of the characters, like Boromir, Legolas, and Gimli, and the and kind of set up the dynamics. But part of it kind of relies on you were kind of, one thing that was cut out that I'm kind of sad that it was at least cut out of the theatrical was the dream, Boromir's dream of the someone in the eastern sky telling the dream of a voice telling them that there's Isildur's band is found, seek for the sword that was broken.
Yeah, what they could have done is cut out the exposition-y parts, and find some way of summarizing the debate part of where you decide what to do. But I'm not sure how that would have worked precisely.
Well, I think that they kind of just have I think they kind of did do the debate well enough as it was, where it's just like they presented like, hey, it's going to be difficult to get into Mordor, and the classic meme, one does not simply walk into Mordor.
Yep, you need an idea to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Especially after the War of Wrath, when all the dragons and stuff were killed, we need to. It's a preservation zone.
We need
Oh,
to.
yeah.
You need to get a lot of maidens to repopulate the species.
So that's what the War of Middle Earth is all about.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all about those dragon maidens, you know.
Damn it! I never learned that trick from that doctor guy. I have no idea how to get women though.
Neither did I. I got there at the very end, so I'm like, done. We're gonna have to redo this.
Get your credit card out.
Indeed, we'll go with that. But we do have the we have kind of just says, hey, we can't break this thing with regular means, so we're going to have to figure out something different. So
Remember the cut where it actually just works?
yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh.
All right.
Well,
Story over.
looks like it worked.
What if? So my question is that would any of Old Volcano do? Did it have to be the one in Mount Doom? I know that was probably the closest one, but seriously, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, it had to be Mount Doom.
Like, what if it fell in a different volcano? Like, Sauron would never get that thing back.
Well, don't be so sure. Yeah, it had to be that one because it was forged there in the first place.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like I get that, but I'm just wondering, like, if I threw this thing into a volcano, would it be destroyed, or would Sauron have to go fishing through lava to get it back?
Let's go with fishing.
Because either way, I would be highly amused.
Probably, yeah.
Not when he gets the ring, you wouldn't.
Yeah, because he
Maybe
can mind
not, but
control everybody.
I mean, he still can take form without the ring. It will just take forever. Last time I checked, isn't that correct?
Yeah, it would take him a long ass time.
It's kind of sad though that we never get to see Sauron in the movie past that opening scene. Like, and I get why. I do. It's just such a shame because that armor was unique.
Yeah, it's like a gothic castle on legs.
I know.
Yep.
There was that deleted scene, so you have that.
Yeah,
Which deleted scene?
Where Aragorn actually fought Sauron at the Battle of the Black Gate in a sword fight.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, I can understand why you would not like that decision, Valerian.
Yep. No, just no.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a yeah, they decided to scrap it and trade it for a troll. So
Good.
like that's why he fights a troll at the very end.
But
Don't feed the trolls, you idiot. Jeez.
But,
how many times we have to tell you this?
why didn't it work? Why didn't the scene work? I've honestly never seen it.
Well, so they only ever have it storyboarded.
Oh.
And
No, it was
filmed. They filmed it, and I've only seen it in storyboard in its entirety in storyboard form and little like bits and pieces of a scene what that you see in the promotional material. Like, I think part of it is like because that's not Aragorn's character arc. He's not there to fight the big villain.
Okay,
Yeah. That's not how the villain falls, and also,
well, I mean, it's sort of, if you ask me, it's not his character arc, but it's kind of coming full circle, because Isildur was the one who put Sauron down the first time, and I think it would kind of fall to Aragorn to make it so that he doesn't rise back up again.
Well, the thing is, like, well, it's partially because, well, it's kind of part of it's kind of pointless because
that's not how you fall.
Because he dies because the ring gets blown up.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, like, all I'm saying is, like, thematically, it kind of makes sense why you would have Aragorn fight Sauron. Like, you know, again, it's coming full circle, in my opinion, but
Yeah.
What do I know?
Yeah. I think it kind of like they just like and so they kind of decide what's an opponent worthy of Aragorn, and they said, oh, let's get a giant troll swordsman.
Yeah, I mean, part of the point in the books anyway is that Sauron is not defeated by force of arms.
And also kind of the fact that like it's not really the strength of kings that win in the end. It is.
But that's because what I'm imagining happens is that not Aragorn doesn't defeat him. Like, he's just Aragorn's just sort of distracting him or keeping him busy, and then he dies mid-battle, not from a sword strike, but from you get what I mean.
Yeah, that's how it worked. Like like in the thing, like he gets like I think in one of the storyboard that I watched, like he managed just to stab Sauron, and Sauron just keeps walking.
Right.
And it's I think it's just partially because like they filmed it and they decided it doesn't really fit who Aragorn is. And the main thing is like this is mainly just a sacrifice. This is not a boss battle.
Yeah. Moving on to Caradhras briefly because
They very much cut a lot out of Caradhras. I definitely agree. There was originally a warg fight up in the mountains of Caradhras in the books, but they decided to just have the mountain have Saruman like cause an avalanche and nearly killed him.
well, that's the interesting.
Yeah, which I think works fine, but yeah.
Pardon me. The interesting thing is that because in the books it's nothing to do with Saruman necessarily, and in the film they made Saruman do it. Now Norm's chap, for some reason Norm's chap didn't like that. He hasn't read the books. He just didn't, and I think his idea was that that Saruman would not try to prevent them from getting to Mordor. He'd want them to get closer to Mordor and to Isengard so he could get the ring. I think that was Norm's argument, if I remember correctly.
Well, geographically, like if they go over the Redhorn Pass, that's not good for Saruman. That gets them around him. Caradhras allows them to bypass. Caradhras would allow Gandalf to bypass Isengard altogether.
Yeah, maybe I'm remembering it wrong then. Or maybe he was just confused.
I think, well, Noms he's a little bit of a normie. he's a normie, and that's fine. I like Noms, but I can't call anything other than what it is.
He's a lovable normie, though.
He is very much a lovable normie. I do love him. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the great old Aussie.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. The man of the lineage of the people who lost to emus.
And who do not know about historical figures too.
Like Merlin.
Yes.
He also has some problems with genetics too.
Well,
I cannot believe I was right in the smack dab middle of that. Fucking hell, that was a ride.
Well, he got My Nerdy Home to be his Valentine's a couple years ago, so that works. Well done on him.
Congrats.
Because My Nerdy Home is a cute lady. Very cute lady.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They're probably just friends. But yeah. But then we get to
Star Wars.
Yeah, we get to Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. I just couldn't resist using this particular image because I thought it was hilarious.
It looks
That
cool.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
They should have done that in the film.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
It would have been kind of stupid. I mean, it kind of we laugh at it would have looked really cool.
It would have been dumb as crap, but it would have been freaking awesome.
Yes. The two often go together.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Oh man, you can't even see like the arrows have little lights on them. Like Aragorn has a purple arrow, Legolas has a green arrow.
Legolas is the green arrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Quite literally. Yeah. A lot of like I think it was actually Pippin that gave Gandalf the idea of speak, friend, and enter rather than Frodo. But Pippin's which is kind of a missed moment, I think, because it shows that Pippin's not dumb.
I thought it was Merry. I think it's Merry. The principle still applies, though. Sorry.
Yeah, it's one or the other. It's one or the other. I think I'll have to check, honestly, because I can't remember. It's been a really long time. I think it's been like 6 or 7 years.
Wow.
Since I last read the book. But I remember it decently well, and I managed to remember it well enough to get an A in a Tolkien class last year or so.
All right.
The guy is so famous; he literally has a class on him.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
That's how you know you succeeded in life.
Yeah. So does Stephen King.
Now I probably shouldn't tell you this, but they've been having classes on Tolkien since before you were born.
Yeah.
Probably since before you were born. They were having classes on Tolkien in the 80s already.
Well, I mean, the guy fucking designed languages, for God's sake. He was like an English professor, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
So it is kind of interesting to see like how an English professor would write a book like this and make this entire world out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also kind of like a lot of his like really neat stuff about like fantasy writing, like on fairy stories, and like his like treatises on writing are really, really fascinating.
And readable too.
Yeah. And in Moria, we do see kind of a departure from the books in terms of like they kind of cut out like a lot of the journeys in the dark so that you can kind of like not be like worn down. And they kind of trade it for one of the best action set pieces in all of cinema, where you have like the Fellowship versus the Goblins. It was kind of like, how are they not dead? Especially when Frodo gets stabbed by a giant spear that's made of metal.
Yeah.
I thought it was a trident, like a literal trident.
It's a boar spear. It's a boar spear. So a boar spear actually how a boar spear works is it's designed with a cross piece at the tip. And the reason for that is because you don't want the boar sliding down onto you.
Right.
Because so
it's
what
heavy.
Is, like there's a and you don't want it to kill you. So you design it with two prongs at the end. And the spikes the prongs at the end of the dwarven boar spear were not sharpened. From what I could see, they were basically just like tweezer tips.
Yeah. To be fair, in the books, it's also kind of an unlikely survival. In fact,
yeah,
we're just amazed that he's still alive in the books.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the kind of the fact of the map, like just how they get in is very different. Like it takes a while for the orcs to find them after Pippin drops a rock in, as opposed to a skeleton dropping in.
Also, it's amazing that one fucking noise woke up that entire hive. Like, oh fuck, a body dropped. All right, people are here. Let's go.
Like, what if that was just a rat or something? That what if the body just decayed more and just fell by itself? No, the orcs just ran into that room. Like, oh,
that proves that orcs are brilliant, by the way.
Yeah. We do, and I think like this is very different than a lot of action scenes. Like, and it doesn't like have shaky cam. It has very quick cuts, but they work well to kind of keep you disoriented, but still in the fight. And you still get a decapitation where you have blood spray into the air, which is kind of awesome.
Which is kind of fucking grisly, but awesome.
Yeah.
It's very black, the blood.
Yeah. I know Balerion, Balerion, like you don't really like that action scene. It is kind of expanded from the book. Like, it's only like a couple of pages in the book, and then kind of like it's a little bit more drawn out.
Yeah, I liked it better in the rewatch, but that's because I was with you chaps. So
yeah, watching with friends kind of makes even bad movies better, unless it's Kirk Cameron.
Fuck you.
Oh, will you stop ragging on Kirk Cameron so much? The man's an idiot, but he's not a fucking harbinger of death.
Die.
Died. Fuck you. I forgot my annual fuck you because you made me watch that movie done part of the stream. Sorry. I forgot my quota. Sorry.
I may be the only one who will ever say this, but I want an entire fucking saga about Kirk Cameron explaining holidays.
Oh, I do
I
too.
really-
It would be amazing.
I want to hear.
No.
I want to hear his thesis on fucking Easter. If you can remove Christ from Christmas, I would love to see what you can do with Easter.
Well, considering he made basically the most materialistic and greedy Christmas movie ever invented, yeah.
How would he handle
I
that?
think I was just speechless the whole fucking time I was watching it. I'm like, this is really dumb. I'm kind of brain dead this whole time.
Yeah. But yeah, then we have the cave troll is definitely expanded upon and turned into more of a set piece than he is in the book. It's basically just like they might have a big cave troll, and the cave troll I don't think is as big as he is in the movie, at least as far as I remember. They were able to easily shut the door against him.
Yeah, I mean the cave troll is mentioned, and
Wow, what a troll, Valerian.
yep, sorry,
It's okay, we still like you.
you better.
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
For now, wait till we get to the two towers and the Return of the King. You might not.
Yeah, they make a lot of changes with that one. Like bringing the elves from Lorien in to act as meat shields for the Rohirrim to somewhat even the odds.
Yeah, I didn't mind that though. That was okay. But there was other stuff. The thing with changes is if you're adapting a work of genius, then the question arises, why are you making the change, firstly? And secondly, it's not likely to be as good, not because I'm some kind of purist or any such rot, as because the people who are doing it are not geniuses.
Yeah. I think one thing that, like, we'll talk about when it comes to it, but Erkenbrand is basically useless. And I think it was a good idea to make Éomer the person who brought the Rohirrim down.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because like, Erkenbrand's not a character. He's just a plot device. He barely has any dialogue. He's pretty much useless.
Yeah, and in the books it's okay, but in the films, no. But that's a very small change.
Yeah. It's a very small change, yeah. There are bigger ones, like Faramir's characterization.
Fellowship,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah. And then we do get to Balerian's favorite character, the Balrog. Who's the real hero. Oh,
glorious! My hero! I will love my life on him.
Valerian, are you getting wet right now?
Shut up!
Don't queef yourself too hard, my friend.
You two can do a gross stream where you do nothing but talk gross stuff, but leave me out of it kindly.
Hey, I learned all my grossness from EFAP.
Yeah, your love for the Balrog is pure.
I'm just loving my life after him. It's, kind of like the prophet of my religion or something.
Hello, Becca. How are you doing today?
Hi there.
Excuse me.
Lovely to see you, Brightness Becca.
I'll get back on your team too. Hello, you lot. Valerian is indeed an absolute troll. I beg your pardon. I'm the great wise one.
You're the sagely Baleriot curmudgeon.
Yes, precisely.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I think the stream yesterday permanently damaged my mind. You mean it wasn't damaged already?
Well,
I mean, for all that fire you were burning with the King's Landing with, yeah, your brain probably melted a bit.
I am excited to get into that frickin' course to see if it actually works.
Oh no! Don't go there.
Oh, we are definitely going there. It's free content.
Is it painful?
Am I going to
know.
live?
I haven't.
past
I've only
this
watched the
point?
first thing, and it was just like, oh, this is okay. He's saying that rakes are good. Lovely.
Wait, what?
That rake, as in like a rakish fellow.
Oh, basically he's saying it's polyamory is cool, but he's saying it from an anti-SJW point of view.
Yeah, pretty much. I think so. I don't know, or maybe they're just saying it like that. But
That's just lame.
But after we get the Balrog, which is just kind of like, this just looks awesome. Like, it just looks really freaking cool to see this old man who's this trained Shakespearean actor yell out the pure prose of the book at this giant monster, and it just absolutely works because he's probably speaking to nothing.
In this, especially the soundtrack, obviously amplifies it to like a fucking 20 out of 10.
Yeah. I am the servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Arnor. Dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udun. Yeah.
Don't mention the frying pans. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, the frying pans were Sam Tits was the original Rapunzel from Tangled.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Rapunzel fights people with a pan.
Oh, fair enough.
Cast
Although
iron
that's kind of
pan or
gross.
something.
Yeah.
Pans are kind of gross right now, ever since the movies.
Yeah. But then we get into kind of the last third.
Pardon me.
Because right now because we go to Lorien and they rest, and they manage to get all of the people to Lorien except for Gandalf, and Aragorn kind of has to take charge. He's clearly just like trying to like relieve that somebody else like Galadriel is able to like tell like him what to do and like give him some advice because he feels lost without Gandalf.
Yep, we get Green Galadriel.
Yeah. And we also get her bathwater being used as scrying material.
The original gamer bathwater.
How much?
Wait, what? Sorry.
The original. I don't know where gamer bathwater came from, but I just think that's funny.
Oh, I can't remember her. Daphne Bell or something.
Oh, right. Lovely. Yes.
Yeah.
That would be a turn on, I guess.
Thank you. I don't want to. Every time I think about that, it makes me want to throw up.
But then we get Lorien in we see like a hint of the Scour of the Shire, which they decided to cut out, which I think is a good idea because it kind of doesn't have a function.
Which did they
the
cut out?
story.
So?
The Scouring of the Shire, and they just basically put it as a one scene of the movie.
In the books, it very definitely does have a
Purpose.
Yeah, it does have a purpose.
It's a thematic purpose. The whole point is that the evil follows them to their homeland, and they think they're just going to go and then come back home, and no, because everything is irrevocably changed.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
they're irrevocably changed. They're like the Shire is changed, though they're managed to put it back to rights in short order after a fight with a bunch of ruffians.
Yeah, but still,
yeah,
the fact that it ends in the Shire is important, and that works fine in the books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it works fine, but it would just kind of be like super long. Wouldn't.
Yeah.
Although you know what they could have done, and it's just as well that they didn't, is make another big screaming action sequence.
Well,
It's
it kind
where
of is.
Sharky brings some orcs with them and.
Well, here's the thing. Like, also after the Pelennor Fields battle, the battle at the Black Gate, and everything else, it's kind of like, well, this feels so much smaller scale.
Yeah, it would have been kind of lame, but hey.
Yeah, since it's basically a bunch of small people beating up on a bunch of orcs, and
Oh, that could have been very entertaining.
well,
Sorry.
and a bunch of hillbillies.
Yes, that could have been quite
The
entertaining.
since the ruffians are basically a bunch of hillbillies, is that Sauron rustled up.
Yeah, Sauron's men.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go home again. The idea of you can't go home again, says Xavier.
This whole stream has been turned into just a book versus movies discussion.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, it's just I don't know what more you can really say about these as movies.
Yeah,
they've been talked about to. They have been talked about to death, and I'm pretty sure the movies at this point have been just as thoroughly examined as the books.
Yeah, since they're pretty much like the best modern trilogy of all time. I think that it's better than Star Wars. It's better than there's pretty much no other good. It's better than Back to the Future. It's better than the Dark Knight trilogy.
Whoa! I'm gonna stop you right there. Back to the Future is a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, but it still doesn't hold a candle, so fuck you.
What do you say?
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't?
No.
Kirk Cameron's Christmas is the greatest film of all time, so shut up.
Burn him with fire. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Part of the interesting thing that they decided to do here was they decided to move the end of Two Towers to the end of Fellowship and the beginning of Towers to Fellowship rather than having the ending of Fellowship where it's just Sam and Frodo leave.
Oh, you mean including the bit where they mourn Boromir and send him off? Yes.
Yeah, as well as having the action scene in the middle of that's kind of basically just like skipped in the book, but it does happen where it's just not even like there's just the Fellowship runs off and scatters in all directions looking for Frodo after Boromir comes back after yeah.
What was that? Give me that again.
No, I was about to verbally breed Tarek out, but you haven't seen Back to the Future? What?
This heresy must not be.
I was kidding, Becca.
Dude, that's been around since.
Oh, I was only pretending to be retarded.
I was.
Yeah, but we do have. I think that Boromir's death. I think Boromir's characterization in the movies is a little bit better than it is in the book because I think Pete Jackson was able to give him a little bit more pathos in the movies than in the book.
Well, what happened is he draws out things that are already in the book. There's not that big a change. It draws out things already there, like the fact that Merry and Pippin are fond of Boromir, so they show them like playing or something. So that's a touch. That's drawing out something and showing something that's mentioned in the books.
Yeah,
it's not that big a change.
Yeah, it's not that big a change, no. But he is. I think the bits where like he want the white, the scene where he talks to Aragorn about the like, have you seen the White City? I really have, like, if I would see the glory of Gondor restored and have it be as it was in the elder days.
Yeah, they did have that bit on Caradhras where Boromir is holding the ring and staring at it. This foreshadowing. That was a little bit obvious. No, it wasn't bad, but it was a little obvious. Maybe.
Yeah, I think pretty much. I know exactly what happens in it. I know that Marty McFly goes back in time with the help of Doc Brown.
I thought you were just gonna say
yeah.
with the help of Christopher Lloyd.
So
Played by Christopher Lloyd, and the funny thing is, I actually saw Teen Wolf before I saw anything. That was kind of the first thing I
Teen
ever
Wolf,
saw Michael
oh
J.
God.
Fox. That was the first thing I ever saw Michael J. Fox in.
So no wonder you didn't see the other film. You thought, oh God. You thought it must be as bad.
Yeah. And we do have, and I think like it's interesting that kind of they decided to put an orc antagonist that Aragorn could have a boss fight with, but it's still a really, like, I say that in a slightly disparaging way, but I think like it's still like really satisfying when Aragorn has a really meaty fight with him, and it's definitely different than a lot of other fights that had been seen up to that point. Like the closest we'd ever had is Willow, and even then, it's kind of like Mad Mardigan's very much playing it like Inigo Montoya a little bit, where it's more swashbuckly. This is more like bashy than that is, where it's just more meaty and visceral.
Man, you passed like 328 pages or something.
I know exactly what happens in Back to the Future.
It's pretty basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to summarize, yeah.
Yeah. Though sometimes like there are funny podcasts where people will try to work out the time travel mechanics and it makes people's heads hurt.
Yeah, don't bother. It just works. It just works. Just go.
It really does. Like, it really does. A lot of causality questions, though.
Yeah, maybe Bran was involved.
Yeah. Time traveling Bran. I know so, and for the Wheel of Time folks out there, time traveling Tam.
You've heard the theory about
Totally
Tyrion
true.
being sorry.
No, Tyrion's totally a Targaryen. There's no question in my mind.
Not that one. The theory that he's a time traveling fetus.
Oh, that part's stupid.
I don't remember any of the details. It's just the phrase in itself works its own magic.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing that we do have I think that kind of almost ends the movie, where they have a fight with Lurtz. And Frodo runs away manages to escape, ape the Uruk-hai, and Aragorn passes one of his tests where he fights with the orcs and just says, "No, I'm not going to take the ring. I'm going to protect the ring bearer." I think that's one of my personal favorite moments of Aragorn in the movies, where he just he just looks like a badass rolling up to a bunch of orcs, and he knows that he's probably going to die, but he's going to kill a whole butt ton of orcs.
Yeah, needless to say, he does kill them all, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, he kills. Yeah, and then Legolas and Gimli come in and start shooting and hacking at him, which is pretty awesome. So there is one point where Vigo falls to the ground, and then this orc comes at him and he just stabs him right through the neck, and the orc just slides down the sword.
Some of the kills in there are pretty creative, I gotta say.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd run out of ways to stab a person, but no, you really don't. There's many ways to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of do. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to stab somebody, especially when Aragorn slices Lurtz's arm off after this pretty brutal fight and Lurtz like throws a shield at Aragorn. And
Thank God that I don't know what the hell they call it. That space was in the middle.
yeah,
That's a stupid name. Pardon me.
yeah. I don't have a problem with it. I don't really see what would be an issue.
Well,
with
it's nothing like any of the actual orc names.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's
They
pretty
could have
close.
made it Lugdurts.
That sounds weird.
Well, all the names sound weird. And
Um,
Lurt sounds even weirder. Lurt make it sound like some German baker or something.
yeah.
Lord's the baker. The baker word.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a prequel to Lord of the Rings. He just baked.
Yep, it's pretty.
He's based, indeed.
He just came out of the ground and started baking pies.
Oh, that would be awesome.
This is my real calling.
That would be so awesome.
I can't wait to finish this job so I can do what I really want to do, which is bake pie. Oh.
Oh, that's so tragic. That's so sad. It's so sad now.
He was so happy he get to make pies, but then he got killed by an asshole.
What an asshole! Yeah. But after that, we have a really heartwarming scene where Frodo leaves and decides to run and then go off to find a way to destroy the ring. But Sam, ever dependable and lovable Sam, does the right thing and goes after his best buddy, not his gay boyfriend.
No, I was about to say, bro, I'm pretty sure that's pretty fucking gay.
No, stop it, both of you. Cut it out. Die, both of you. Die horribly and painfully. Die.
Valerian.
Yeah.
Dying's pretty gay too.
Take it with fire and blood.
I will. Don't think I won't.
Yeah.
Okay, Golem.
Great
Yeah.
side effects, yes.
Yeah.
Not sound effects. I mean, great sound effects, yes.
Yeah. But then
I give that negative 10 out of 10.
And we do have a really good bit where Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas decide we're going to go after the hobbits, Merry and Pippin, since that's what we can control. And that kind of ends the movie where they're running after them. And that's kind of the main thing. I really couldn't think of to do like anything other than, oh man, this is great, or this is great, I love this bit. Since pretty much the movies are masterpieces, and there's pretty much barely, especially this one, has barely anything wrong with it. Like, it kind of, I love what Mahler said, like, after they got finished with The Return of the King, it's just like, in loving memory of good writing. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Just one or two little silly bits here and there, like people breakdancing and things. But
Yeah.
I would have loved it though if they had it. I know this has been done before, but when Gandalf is doing his little thing, is rolling around the floor like he's spazzing out. I would have loved it. I bet Jackson was thinking, I need to put Larry and Curly and Mel going whoop, 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 like fucking Zoidberg. I know he was thinking it, but he's like, no, I can't.
Oh, we're going to do that in another video. We're going to cover Maggie Mae Fisher's Lord of the Rings video at some point.
oh,
I am down with this sickness, my good man.
oh, yes.
Well,
that would be
we get to taste that tomorrow with her prequel video, so I guess that'll be great.
Aren't
Fuck, man.
Aren't you excited?
Yes.
Oh, I'm totally excited to hear about the fucking cucking of the Skywalker.
Am I invited to this shit show? I would really like to be there.
I'm pretty sure you were on the last one. You should be on my list though. Tark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, bring him. I think he would have a great time
You guys got to remember, Star Wars was my childhood. Like when I was a little boy in Germany, I always wanted to be Luke Skywalker. Instead, I grew up to be Hitler.
Yeah.
I hate it when that
Yeah.
happens.
I would love to. I want EFAP to cover Maggie May Fish at some point. I think
I thought they did.
You want them
They
to
did
die.
not. They covered a video in which a segment of one of her videos was played, i.e., Thanos, the movies with Mikey's really bad Thanos video, but they never actually covered him.
Yeah,
Covered
she's
her.
she's one on our enemies list who I have not yet been exposed to.
Yeah, mostly because Neph is freaking scared of her, and also hates her. Is scared of and hates her.
That sounds like Neph, but a lot less screechy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think overall the movies are definitely good as movies, but I think that the books still hold up. There's a couple of like plot cul-de-sacs that don't go anywhere in the books, but
Well, I
think
mean,
that they still hold up as works of fiction. But I think that ultimately, like if you're looking for like really three-dimensional characters, Tolkien really doesn't provide very many of those. They're very much like straightforward characters.
Well, you don't really have that in the films either. They're still not three-dimensional.
But here's the thing: like
Yeah,
you don't
kinda
always
need to be.
Yeah,
it's kind of
you
the
don't
simple
always
good
need
versus
three-dimensional
evil.
characters.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that they at least like managed to try and get to they managed to like give Aragorn an arc where he kind of his flaw is his self-doubt, whereas in the book he doesn't really have any flaws. He's just kind of the perfect King Arthur archetype.
He's our perfect angel. Now shut up.
Well, it does have occasional moments of self-doubt. So
Yeah.
it does occasionally happen in the book. So that's developing something that it's a little bit of that in the books at the beginning of the Two Towers where he thinks he's failed and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, deep characterization is not necessary for a work of literature, even a classic work, so long as the characters aren't completely incoherent and inconsistent and a mess.
Yeah, I would definitely take something that's a little bit flatter versus something that's like incoherent.
I think the other thing is that, like, especially in Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, for example, the biggest thing is not about whether they're three-dimensional characters or not. It's more about, do their motivations make sense? Like, do they have a motive to do what they're doing? And you do get a clear sense of motivation from everybody in Lord of the Rings. You do know why they're doing what they're doing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And at least they're also fun characters like Legolas and Gimli. I do think that their relationship is actually a really nice arc where they go from being prejudiced against each other to like being heterosexual life partners, like Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn.
Well, what used to be called friends back in the day.
Or wait! I got a Jewier one for you: Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider.
Well, Rob Schneider refused to be in Grown Ups 2, so
for good reason. I don't even think Adam Sandler really wanted to be there, and he made it.
Yeah. Anyway, it's what used to be called friendship back in the day.
Yeah. I just like the term heterosexual life partner. I find that hilarious.
HLP, I assume, for short.
Yeah. HLP, yeah. Heterosexual life partner.
Yeah.
Why do modern people have to say everything in Latin and Greek and complicate everything? Garbled Latin and Greek at that.
I don't know. Yeah. But I think like this is kind of an example of like how and Calagon the Black, totally. And Calagon the Black, totally. Without doubt. In Lord of the Rings, though I do like Smaug. Smaug's a close second. Yeah, I don't care. That's just your opinion.
Yeah. I hate how everything's subjective now.
Well,
You're wrong.
well,
Whatever that was.
well. Apparently, Gina Carano is a Nazi just because she compared the fact that like we're like very much dismissing of other people's opinions to the Holocaust.
That's
I
a
think.
little bit hyperbolic, I would say.
Yeah. Well, it's just like nobody's civil anymore. And
No.
kind of just saying like, no, the Nazis, like it wasn't just the Nazis that killed people. They managed to convince their own neighbors to kill each other, to turn each other in and beat them in the streets.
It wasn't just it wasn't just the Nazis. It was the Nas women and the Hitler youth groups too.
Yeah.
It's so tasteless, Nazism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I think that this is a good example of like something that like I think that Martin Sanderson and Joe Abercrombie have kind of like, I think that the main thing that Tolkien excels at is his world building more than anything else, because everything in Lord of the Rings feels like it's three-dimensional world, with kind of like pretty decent characters put into this very, very well fleshed out world.
Yeah, there's also like themes, so to speak.
Yeah.
But do you know what I think really helped Tolkien make this entire thing work? And I'm being serious here for once, like every stream. I believe that what really made Lord of the Rings work was that Tolkien had a story he wanted to tell, and he did the work telling that story first before he decided to say, well, and I don't think he ever really said to himself, well, what does this say? Because what was it? Tolkien hated he hated stuff like
he liked applicability rather than allegory.
Yeah. And I think that's what really helped him here, because I think he just wanted to tell a story first and foremost. And that's why stories don't work today, because nobody just wants to tell a story. They want to send a message.
Yeah, the themes are inherent in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Or hell, maybe in truth, and this could be the case, maybe he didn't have any themes. Maybe he just said, maybe he didn't intend for it. He just let people read what they wanted to read into it.
I think that he did have themes. He was definitely trying to push against industrialization. He definitely hated that. He also hated. He also wanted to kind of prove like the benefits of like just simple country life, and kind of the benefits of the simple life as opposed to the life of treasure and jewels.
Okay, so I'm not saying he didn't have political leanings. I'm just saying, like, when he was telling the story, I'm thinking he just wrote the story. He wrote the story, and then on the second draft, he was like, "Well, I do want to kind of include something, but I have to do it cleverly."
Or maybe not even that. The themes just come out of the
that too.
story itself. They're inherent in the story itself that he's telling.
That too, yeah.
But every now and then, there might be things that reveal his prejudices about this and that.
Well, I mean, that comes out in anyone's writing, I'm sure.
Yes.
Oh, my books are very Nietzschean. You will find that at least the Dragonlord Annals is very Nietzschean and very imperialist. At least it depicts imperialism as like very blunt a light as I can.
I was posting something to the server today, and I finally came to a decision on my book that I was kind of not really sure of, but I finally made my decision. And what that decision is Aviana's name is not her birth name. She doesn't know her birth name, period.
Oh, interesting.
And the thing is that I kind of intend for it where she never learns it, because the point of the book is somebody is going to, her whole entire journey is coming from nothing, and I mean literally nothing. She doesn't even have a name.
Well,
So-
nothing. She does exist.
Mhm.
I meant on a socioeconomic level.
She didn't emerge ex nihilo like Mare Sue.
I was about. It's funny you mentioned that because I'm gonna tell you the secret behind this character. Subconsciously and subconsciously, my entire reason for writing the character the way I did, because I wanted to prove that Ray could be written well.
Yeah, same with me and Rayla. In
You just took the first 3 letters.
Technically, it's also in Dragon Prince.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not focusing on the themes I want to do. Those are just coming out, and I'm realizing it as I write. But if somebody were to ask me what the book was about, and I'm sure like Tolkien would say, I think Tolkien would say this too. Well, what did you take from it?
That's my perspective as well.
Whereas my story is a little bit anti-imperialist. So there.
Well, it's kind of just like, it's just bluntly saying that like imperialism happens more than anything else.
Well, yes.
And there's kind of just a and part of the thing is just the book is, I think one of it is like my next book is basically going to have what happened with the Jews in Rome. That's going to happen in the next book of the Dragonlord Annals.
Kicked out of another country. What is that? 214?
Yeah, and kind of the worst part is it's
It gets a little bloody.
yeah, and it's instead of the people and the people of Rome are technically the protagonists in this case.
Hey, everybody's a hero in their own story.
Oh fuck! I just put a dent in my desk. Oh well.
Oh dear.
I was just messing around with Sting, and I just fucking put a dent. I'm like, oh crap.
It's Sting, this purveyor of orcs and destroyer of desks.
Yes, it seems a little top heavy for a sword. Yeah.
So, any questions?
Any questions? Yeah, any questions from the chat? Please tell us.
I don't got much. I mean, music is great. Characters, plot, fucking background. If you have like the 4K Blu-rays, you can see such tiny details you've never seen before.
You know what? You're absolutely right. The cartoon version was much better.
Damn.
What was that? What was that?
The cartoon version was so much better.
Yeah.
Which cartoon version?
The
There's
Bakshi
only
one.
Yeah.
No, there are two. There's Bakshi and there's Rankin Hoo-Ha.
Rankin Bass never made a
Fellowship.
Yeah, Fellowship.
Oh,
Yeah, they just
so-
made Return of the King, and that one is definitely inferior. Though it does have Where There's a Whip.
There's no way.
Stop it, you two. Die.
Valerian,
on,
I
it was-
am already dead.
Die again, then.
I was just trying to forget and come back.
That's cheating.
Indeed.
Well, that's
we
how
don't
it works.
care. Indeed, we don't care.
So let's see.
Spitting controversy.
I can't wait to see his controversial statements tomorrow.
Indeed.
I get home at work at around 4. Invite me. I will be more than happy to come on and give my spicy hot take. My what is it?
It'll be,
Chilean ghost pepper take.
Which is this
It
one?
will be it'll be 12 o'clock Pacific time.
So that's 3 o'clock my time. I don't leave work till 4. Damn it.
Well,
Should
can
we
always have it.
postpone it for an hour? Or
If you
just postpone
could.
it for an hour. Yeah, let's just postpone it for an hour. It's fine.
Thank
I can
you.
sleep in and go. I can sleep in and go to work. After I go to work. I'm okay with
That's
that.
the one on the.
All right. So remember, two MST, then it'll be 1:00 Pacific time. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
one on subversive blah blah blah? Subversive
No.
masterpiece.
No, that's the prequel one. It's the crazy fucking fetish fanfic one where Obi-Wan cucks Anakin for some reason.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, this it's just Maggie Mayfish telling her headcanon. The prequels would be so much better when you view it from the lens of Obi-Wan cucked Anakin.
What? But hold on, back up. He did it, and you know that because he has the proof to show it.
Yeah.
Also, it's not like he cut off his dick. He cut off his legs. It'll be awkward, but you can still maneuver.
He has robot legs. It's Star Wars.
Well, the thing is, like, he just thinks like Obi-Wan and Padme were having secret, sexy rendezvous.
Okay, hold on. Clone Wars showed that fucking Obi-Wan had an entire black book of bitches. He did not need Padme.
Hey, Pete Porkman, Anomaling's favorite woman to simp to.
I was going to say favorite masturbatory doll, but that works too.
Hey, my vocabulary is a lot more thinner than yours.
You mean a lot smaller?
Yes, smaller, thinner. See, exactly my point.
There's got at least you learned the word vocabulary though. That's a nice long word.
Hold on, hold on, White. Read a fucking book. I heard Dunn has a few good ones.
But he used vocabulary, so that's kind of a
you
long
gain vocabulary from reading.
You gain vocabulary. You get to look at vocabulary.
You get to look at words.
Oh, that's what vocab means.
You get to look at women.
Oh, okay, that's more like it.
Wait, Dunn. Are there women in your books? Do I get to look at them? Is there a visual medium to this?
As far as I know, there's no visuals unless somebody has somehow found a way to find my books and make DeviantArt portraits of it.
Someone in the Discord might have done that.
I doubt it.
Very seductive type of fan art, probably.
It sounds like the kind of thing some of them might do.
Well, they haven't read. I haven't released Wrath of the Dragon that actually has a threesome in it.
Well, I spoke too soon. Is this between man and beast or just man and man?
No, a guy and two girls, and they're both sisters.
Okay.
No, so you've got
okay.
there. Okay, that's nice. Not much to do with Tolkien, but hey.
We're well past that at this point.
Yeah, we're already way past Tolkien. We're in fucking outer space. I don't know where you're at. So yay, we get to look at fetishes tomorrow. So that's great. It's fantastic.
That's one thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know how to respond in all honesty. I'm just waiting for the shit show. I'm now excited.
I don't know what other day. Maybe we can cover the Game of Thrones one another day.
Yeah.
I don't know when though.
My Game of Thrones is outside my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, talking about the Bloodied.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's that story?
It's fun. Well, it's kind of fun. It's I honestly think the adaptation, I think that the book, needed to be edited and streamlined because there's a lot of things that don't really function into the plot in the book.
There actually was a lot of editing. If you know, who really needs editing, it's George R. R. Martin. That's someone else.
Oh yes, yeah, George needs to be edited.
Sorry, comparing the written work and the adaptation, it kind of can't really judge an adaptation incomplete and utter, like it's in a vacuum like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't. I can't do it, and I'm not sure it's entirely sound. I mean, If you're just saying that if you're just saying the adaptation stinks, the written work rules, then yeah. But you have to make comparisons. How can you understand it without making comparisons?
Yeah, I think that's definitely definitely interesting to kind of take comparisons between like what happened in the books versus what happened in the movies, because they're two very different mediums and that do very different things.
Yeah, they're different media, so some things have to be totally changed because you can't. Something just doesn't work at all in the film medium.
Yeah, like
But then sometimes,
like good old Tom Bombadillo and his boots are yellow.
are you kidding? That would have been awesome if there had been like a fight scene between Tom Bombadil and like Old Man Willow, and they're like, he's like reciting poetry, like while he uses his lightsaber on Old Man Willow. That would be awesome, like totally awesome.
All right, what are you, 6?
Yeah. Are we going by cat ears or are we going by cat ears? I am not sure what you are, so I don't know.
When was there ever when I am not?
Are you a skin changer?
Are you an angel?
Oh, God.
Done.
Oh,
You done fucked up.
speaking of, oh man, he showed the Beast Dragon.
Oh boy.
Wait, what?
That movie sucks. That show sucks.
BBC Dracula? I'm gonna look that up. Give me a sec. BBC Drac. What the hell is this? It has a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes and 6.8 on IMDb. I'm gonna look at their user reviews first.
It has
okay, the audience review is like 59. Okay.
Yeah, well, here's the problem that you have with Dracula. For one, you have the moment where he asks this lady, they gender swapped Van Helsing to
Of course they did.
an atheist nun.
Wait, what?
That's kind of a
It's an
contradiction in terms.
oxymoron if I've ever heard one.
That's a contradiction in terms.
Yeah, was it Van? Oh, no, never mind. I'm confusing the 2004 with the
The best one.
Yeah,
Yes.
frickin' Van Helsing, yeah, where you got Wolverine as Van Helsing, baby.
Oh yes, yeah, it's fucking crazy and fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
That fucking pneumatic crossbow and the blade, like the saw blades and everything. And the funny thing is like you'd think those would never come into use again, those saw blades, but they do. He does use them throughout the movie.
That movie had a lot of imagination.
That
So
did.
Yeah,
have we
it did.
gone completely past
We pretty much have, yeah.
the Fellowship film? Because if so, maybe it's time for me to take my walk.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's time for you to go burn
Yeah.
down another city. So go do that.
Well, I did forget to mention the moment of one of the funniest lines that made the stream team guffaw was Jonathan Harker shows up looking like a zombie at a nunnery, and the nun asks, "I want you to tell me this very honestly. Have you had sexual intercourse with Count Dracula?"
What?
Okay, for the last time this live stream, I'm going to say it. No, comment.
Yeah.
Dunn is a very dirty person, so
I didn't say it. They did. I didn't make that up.
Well,
So you
yeah,
have
but you
parroted it.
poisoned
Yes.
our brains with this.
Yes. That's
nonsense.
because Sir Anthony Hopkins is a god amongst actors. You can pretty much do no wrong. Like even when he's in crap, like Shakespeare's an adaptation of Shakespeare's worst play, Titus Andronicus.
I thought he was also. I thought he wasn't he also Bowser in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
That's Dennis Hopper.
Okay.
A monkey.
Alright, have a run.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I think Valerian's died. Alrighty. Well,
I think we're good.
Yeah, we've been talking for 2.5 hours, book versus movie. We can't really talk about like the Fellowship like as movies without just like this is great and this is great. And I guess we could. I guess we could
jerking off the movie.
I guess we could kind of discuss like what I guess we could have gone more into like why the character arcs are really good and like why kind of this like initial beginning is really good and there's just really like subtle bits of characterization, but you kind of already get the feeling of that. It's more interesting to kind of deconstruct like I guess middle of the road movies.
Yeah.
It can act almost as its own movie.
Yeah.
Almost.
Like yeah. I was sad in the theater in 2001. Since I had grown up with the Bashki one, I thought, oh, there's got to be more movie, and then it ends after that. And it's just like, oh, and then I was blown away by Two Towers, and I was just like,
Return of the King. I bet you were like, oh my
oh
god.
yeah, and it's still my favorite movie to this day. I think I actually watched. Yeah, I watched it with my. I think I watched it with a friend of mine. She said, I never had a favorite movie before, but this is my favorite movie now.
my favorite movie, just to put it on record, is Return of the Jedi. That is one of my that's my favorite movie of all time.
It is very satisfying, and it is my favorite of the original trilogy, though I think the Empire is slightly better.
Oh, well, objectively speaking, Empire is slightly better, but I like Return of the King. It's such a good ending.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you for coming on this slightly rambly, hopefully relatively organized. I tried to keep it organized and streamlined with the Prezi, but there's kind of really like it's hard to really talk about the Lord of the Rings. And it's like you can kind of compare it to the books, and you can kind of say like this little bit of characterization is really neat here, and this little bit here, but I think especially with Fellowship, it's going to be interesting to kind of discuss Two Towers and Return of the King, and then like the series as a whole. Like it's easier to talk about the series as a whole rather than just Fellowship.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we will call it good there. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.